Good evening, everyone. My name is Sonia Magruder. I'm a five-star crown with Purium Health Products, as most of you know. And I've been around a while. I've been with Purium for 12 years and super happy to be here with you guys tonight to do this training about the value of Purium. I'm going to share three key concepts with you that will help you communicate the value of Purium more effectively than ever. But before we do that, Amy has asked me to share a couple reminders, some really important ones. So convention tickets, drop in the chat, drop a 3 in the chat if you've bought your convention ticket already. 3 in the chat. Okay, John and Shelley, awesome. Christine Chandarlis, Rico, good job. Cami says, thank you for reminding me. Nicole, great. Cami's buying it right now. Smart, Cami, because the price goes up February 1st. Rico and your mom, you and your mom are coming. That's so cool. I can't wait to meet her. Irma's got hers. Okay, cool. So drop a 5 in the chat if you bought a bundle or more than a bundle. John and Shelley, awesome. Christine, amazing. That's great. Kelly's going to get hers before the price goes up. That is so smart. The bundle right now, if you get the bundle of 5, it brings the price down to $360. And the individual price right now is $399. If you wait till February 1st, it goes up, the individual price goes up to $429. So now's the time. We've only got a few days left. Friday's the last day of the month. So we want to make sure you get those and get them at the best price. And the bundles will go up on Saturday, February 1st. They're going to go up to $18.99. So you can get it now. You can get a bundle for $17.99. Obviously, you're getting that for your team members. You all divvy it up. Everybody pays $360. Maybe you have a goal of brand partners that you're going to bring on, which I'm sure all of you do between now and then you can have that for them. Tara, yay, you're ordering yours. Ginger's getting her bundle today. I love it. Okay, excellent. Thank you. What's the date of the convention? Drop it in the chat. Beth, you have yours, of course. Thank you for sharing that. You and Brian are always so on top of it. And Beth has the dates, and Ginger, yes, July 25th through 27th. So clear your calendar. This is so important. You got so much time, so much notice to save that date. You don't want to miss it. If you were there last year, you know. If you know, you know. And you have to trust anyone who's been there that tells you how amazing it was, because it was. It's an experience. It's literally one of those things where you have to be there to experience it. So inspiring. We had so many rank advancements come out of that after convention. It was unbelievable. Of all ranks, all the way up to crown, company-wide. So Kelly says it was so amazing. It really was. So that's one thing. Now, drop a 2 in the chat if you were on Debbie's call last night, Debbie Darling's call. And she had Shady on with her, who helped her with the phone app. How do you guys like the new phone app features? Really exciting, isn't it? It's really going to make doing your business so much more efficient. There's so many great features. I love the Pulse feature, all of it. And it is a paid app, but it's so worth it. The price is like very little, and it's so worth it to get those extra features. And remember, we have virtually no overhead in this business. We have a business that we can have unlimited income, which I'm going to touch on a little bit tonight too, and virtually no overhead. So our overhead's our monthly order. And do you hear like a whistling sound, or is it just me? No, Rico? Okay. All right, cool. Thank you. I think it's something Doug is doing downstairs. All right. So Gail says, awesome. Nicole's getting our bundle tonight. Tammy, price is little in comparison to the wins of using it. 100%, Tammy. And it's cheaper than the TV apps that we pay for. Yeah, absolutely. So if you missed Debbie's call last night, or if you got on it, it was a lot of information and really good, exciting information. But if you need a refresher or you missed it, go back in puriumbusiness.com, rewatch the call or watch it. It's also, it was streamed to the Purium Business Facebook group too. So you can find it there too. So definitely take advantage of that. If nothing else, take advantage of the 2-week free trial, 14-day free trial with the phone app. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty of what we're going to talk about tonight about communicating the value of Purium in the most effective way. I'm going to go over three key aspects of that: the value of the products, the value of discovery, and the value of the business. And all three things have tremendous value. So first, we're going to talk about the value of the products. Okay. Now, I want you to be real honest, which you all are. Drop a 1 in the chat if you've ever had a price objection. Okay. So probably everybody at one time or another has had a price objection. Okay, now I want to see who's really brave. Drop a 2 in the chat if you've ever caught yourself saying, I know it's expensive, but. Okay, drop a 2 in the chat. Tell the truth. Okay, I love how honest you guys are. I know it's expensive, but. So after this Zoom, you will never catch yourself saying that again. I promise you. And I've heard brand partners say that too. So it's not uncommon. You're not alone. It's not uncommon. Rico said 2 years ago. Amanda says it's an investment. And then we got a bunch of people that, yeah, that fessed up. And I love that. I am so glad you said that, because that's going to show why we're here, how this will help you. So my goal tonight is to embolden you by sharing some comparisons, first of all, so you can see the value that our products have even more clearly. Like, it's so obvious. And then after you see what I'm going to show you, you're going to be able to transmit that belief and that confidence of the value to your prospects, to your potential customers, to your brand partners, potential brand partners. And that will virtually eliminate any price objections that you'll ever get, because you know why, right? When you have high belief and when you have posture and confidence, that comes across. And there's that concept of mirroring, where if you're timid or if you're unsure about the price, maybe you may have money blocks or money issues, and you could attract that if you have that energy and you are thinking that way and you don't feel confident. So we want you to feel really confident. And not only that, I'm going to show you and help you with helping your prospects prioritize transferring the spending that they're already doing on other things to Purium, like the bridge between, okay, I see the price is great, there's value, but the bridge to get them to say, and I need to transfer that spending over that I've been doing. So first, you want to take a look at what people are spending money on. So we're going to start with like the worst, okay? The Big Mac meal. And drop in the chat if you've ever had a Big Mac meal. Just kidding. Many of us have, okay? Prior to Purium, Doug and I were doing things like this. So Big Mac meal, it's almost $13, $12.98. What are you getting with that? You're getting 920 to 1150 calories, and you're getting ultra processed food, which we know the ingredients are not healthy for us. Everything's in there, like all the bad stuff, the oils and the chemicals, all those things. But people are mindlessly spending money on these foods, these so-called foods, convenience foods. It's because of convenience. And they're honestly not realizing how it's adding up. They're not realizing the spend, like how it's just going out the window on this stuff. If someone has a Big Mac meal every day, let's say they're out and they work near a McDonald's and they go through the drive-through and they get a Big Mac meal every day for a month, guess how much they're spending? Anybody really good with math that could just do it in their head? It's $389 a month on that one meal that's not serving them. All right, so let's go like a little bit better. Chipotle. A Chipotle smoked brisket burrito is $13.35 for that burrito. And it's giving them one meal and it's 1,580 calories that they're getting. And that's about $389 a month if they're grabbing that burrito every day. Serenity says, I did McDonald's. Oops, it moved fast. Yes, that's with the guac, Amanda. Not extra, just with guac. I did McDonald's 3 days in a row, ended up having a gallbladder attack. Oh my gosh. Wow. And then Kelly says, a man my husband works with spends over $80 a week on fast food lunches. Yeah, there you go. So people, they have the money. There is no, I can't afford it, unless they're absolutely destitute, but there's no, I can't afford it. It's helping them see the value. And like I said, getting them to shift their mindset to what they're spending that money on. So they have the money, they're spending it on this stuff. You just saw in the chat, real life situations. All right, this one's a little better. Kava, the falafel crunch bowl. None of this is organic. So there's potentially glyphosate in all of these things, all of these foods. So the kava, depending on the city, it's $14 to $15 for that bowl. Do you remember like several years ago when you could go out to a nice restaurant and get an entree for $15 for dinner? No more. So this is where prices have gone. And Dave and Amy, it took them so many years to do a little price increase, a little bump, which after all this, I feel like it could be even more. I'm not saying it's going to be, but I'm just saying when you see this in the comparison. So that's $450 a month. Someone's going and getting their kava bowl every day for lunch or dinner or whatever. That's $450 a month. So I wanted to give you like a variety of different types of things that people eat that they're spending money on. Okay, now there's the add-ons. There's the energy drinks, there's the Dunkin' Donuts, the coffees, the gas station drinks, the Starbucks, the Frappuccinos, those type of things. Okay, so let's look at what you're getting here. Because these are in addition. These are not the meal. These are things people are getting in addition to those meals. Java chip Frappuccino, by the time you put the tip on it, is over $8. So that's just an added thing. Excuse me, 560 calories, 79 grams of sugar. Eric says people spend so much for gas station garbage. Yeah. Oh, it's true. We used to, Eric, except you came to our house and you picked up like a thing of wheat thins and you were yelling at us before we got into Puree. Little sidebar story. Eric was like reading the ingredients and he goes, do you guys realize the first three ingredients are just other names for sugar? And I was like, man, he's like getting on our case. But then when Doug and I were looking to do something and to make a change, guess what? When we saw Eric post, I was like, oh, I don't even have to research it. I remember how he was about ingredients. Like I reached out, I was like, how do we get two of those, Eric? Two of those cleanses that they used to be called. So yeah, so the Frappuccino has the sugar equivalent of having 3 Snickers bars. That's like eating 3 Snickers bars or many teaspoons of sugar. Okay, so there's that. Now, what about alcoholic beverages? People don't even think about this. They order their alcoholic beverage, and those are $16 to $18. And that really shocked me because, again, that used to be an entree, a nice dinner at a nice restaurant, $16 to $18 just for the drink. So there is no can't afford. It's a matter of what is their priority? What's the priority? All right, so next, this is called, at Smoothie King, this is called a wellness smoothie. That is legit the name on their menu. The wellness smoothie. It's $12.90. So again, how much is the ULT a day? This is $12.90 for the wellness smoothie. 550 calories, another add-on. These are add-ons. 110 grams of sugar. No wonder people are so sick, right? But they're buying this like, oh, it's a wellness smoothie. It's healthy. So yeah, so there's, oh, Philip, I don't know how you did that, but that's cool. In the comments, in the chat. All right, now we're gonna go like a little more towards what we are. Here's 2 cold pressed green juices from Whole Foods. And they're not organic. They're not certified organic, But let's say someone's like, oh, I grab green drinks at Whole Foods. I am healthy. I get like two of those a day. $13.58 for two of those. So what are you getting with those? You're getting two green juices. You're not getting anything else. That's all you're getting. And that, if you're doing that, if someone is doing that every day, that's costing them $407 a month if they're getting these two green juices a day. $407. There's no protein. There's really no fiber because it's juiced. It's just a juice. There's no healthy fats or anything in it. Okay. Now, what do you get with the ULT? $12.83 a day. Look at what we're getting. Two healthy meals, not one meal, two meals. Healthy fats, organic green superfoods, highest quality protein. I mean, the super aminos, the highest protein you can find, highest utilization rate, vegan protein, a parasite cleanse that everybody needs a few times a year anyway, natural sleep support. People aren't sleeping. They're drinking all those beverages and caffeinated drinks and all that stuff, alcohol at night, and a blender. So for $12.83 a day, this is what they're getting in the first month. It goes down even the next month. And when I was doing this, like Ruth says, two meals, not snacks. Exactly. This can replace two meals. And there's no added sugar. The Power Shake is like 2 grams of sugar, no artificial sweeteners. That when I did all this, I thought our price is like too low. $12.83 for all this? That's unbelievable, really. Do you agree? Oh yeah, smoking, vaping. Yeah, there's so many things that people do that because it's a priority for them. So they're not even thinking. I remember when I started Imperium in the beginning, like the first year, there was this couple, the husband, he was hospitalized, type 2 diabetes. His vision was going. He almost had a toe amputated. That's how bad it was. And he got on the ULT and he reversed everything. Like he was fine. Like he's still to this day, he's still good. But his wife told me, she goes, you know what? Just out of curiosity, and keep in mind, this was like maybe 11 years ago. So factor in inflation. But she said, just out of curiosity, I took all my receipts from going fast food. They had a couple kids and they were fast food eaters. So she's like, I took all the receipts from Taco Bell, from Wendy's, from Chick-fil-A. And she goes, I added it all up and we were spending just on those meals $700 a month. Now, now, 11 years later, that's probably like $1,400. So, oh, Mary Beth, yeah, you can definitely for social media. I can make the images available. I don't know if I'm reading in the chat here what everybody's saying. It will the Canva deck will probably be posted. If not, excuse me, I'll share it afterwards. But yeah, I have all this on Canva, so you can use it. So yeah, so here's what you get. Like here's the physical thing that you get with Purium, with ULT 1283 a day. Here's the more intangible things that you get. You get better sleep. You get improved digestion, increased energy, less bloating, healthy weight loss. If somebody wants to lose weight, healthy weight loss, sharper mental focus, reduced sugar cravings. We know that for a fact. Nutrient density, low in calories, high in nutrients. Two healthy meals, like Ruth said. Satiety. So the checks, the green checks are like, yes, this is what you get with Purium. The X's are with these other meals. No, you don't get any of that. You actually need Purium to undo what's happening from these other things. Like Purium is the undoer of all that because those other things are causing the opposite. They're causing people not to sleep. They're causing people to have poor digestion, the glyphosate that's disrupting their gut microbiome and causing all kinds of things like leaky gut and other things, the bloating that they have, the brain fog because they have poor gut health because of all these other things that they're spending their hard-earned money on. So this is what we need. You can even share these slides with someone. If you ever do get someone that says, well, I don't know about the product, you can share this with them. And then I think it's pretty eye-opening. So that's what you get with the ULT. Now we're going to talk about the discovery because now we need the bridge of now we know we believe the value is insane, but we need the bridge to help them go from not only understanding the price is really amazing to seeing the value for themselves. So that's what we call discovery. And that's how we do it is through discovery. So discovery is simply asking questions and listening, taking an interest in them. By asking these questions and listening, that's how we discover their wants, their needs, their pain points. And we actually help them to kind of reflect on what those things are. And it has to be done how? What's the best way to do it? What is the best form of communication? Drop it in the chat. Best form of communication when we're talking to people about this. Convo. Tara said, what kind of convo? Pick up the phone. I know that's what you meant, Tara. Everyone says in person or on phone. Absolutely. 100%. Okay. So yeah. And Kelly Williams, talk to them, not texting. Why? Why is that? Well, energy, absolutely. More personal, Kelly, absolutely right. Presence. And there's a little quote here. This psychologist and technology expert, Sherry Turkle, she wrote, "It is when we see each other's faces and hear each other's voices that we become most human to each other." And she was talking about texting prior to saying this statement. She was comparing texting to phone conversation or in-person conversation. So that's how we become more human to each other. Heather, you're absolutely right. Be more interested than interesting. Kelly says, shows that we care. They can hear it in our voice. Yeah, it's an energy exchange in person, Tara. Absolutely. And Brittany, yes, you can do voice text messages. That's better than a written text for sure. And sometimes we have to initiate a conversation for depending on the circumstances or the situation to set up a phone conversation or set up a meetup conversation. I know Rico does them all the time. Rico's always meeting up with people constantly. He's constantly having these conversations. That's why, no surprise, he got on the leaderboard last month for ULTs because he's always got a top mind and always having these and if you know Rico, he's got great energy. So people can't resist it. So, and Ruth says texting open to misunderstanding and interpretation. Right. We can put emojis, but they can't quite get it on the phone. So the other thing is, I'm going to give you some examples of some questions to ask, and you may be using some of these questions already, but getting back to the texting prolongs everything. If you prospect someone by text, it's probably going to take 2 to 3 times as long than if you just get on the phone and cut to the chase and take an interest and ask them those questions. So here's some of the questions for ULT. How are you sleeping? You're in a conversation with someone, you start talking, they're asking you about what you do, you tell them what you do, and you can just say like, yeah, this is what it helps with. By the way, how are you sleeping? We know nobody's sleeping, pretty much. They're all waking up at 3 a.m. How's your energy? Well, they're not having energy because they're not sleeping. How about your digestion, bloating? Probably not very good because they're eating those other things that we talked about in many cases. Not everybody, but a lot of people are. How about your mental focus? Same thing, gut-brain connection. So we're asking them these questions and we're listening. And they're answering and we're taking mental notes. We're just leaning in and listening, not thinking of the next thing we're going to say, just active listening. And then, are you wanting to release any excess weight? Yes. Oh, yeah, I would love to. How much are you thinking? So that's one way of the questions. Then there's also another way you can, and there's all different ways, but it's just, asking the questions to uncover the pain points, because then once you have that, you're going to bring the solution in. So if you were to do this program, would you want to improve your sleep, your energy, your digestion, your mental focus, release some excess weight, or all of the above? What do they say 99.9% of the time? The answer is always, almost always, all of the above. And it's no surprise, because we know what's in the food and and busy lifestyles and people put their self-care on the back burner. So that's why we want to help them. So then once they give you the pain points and now they've verbally spoken those pain points, now they're really thinking about it. Yeah, my sleep is terrible and I don't like waking up exhausted. Well, I have great news. The Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation that I was telling you about, my 90-day nutrition program, it literally checks off all those boxes. For the daily cost of a fast food meal, you can experience improvement in all those areas and start feeling like yourself again. And then pause, stop talking, let that sink in. They're processing. And if you're on the phone and you pause and it feels uncomfortable because it's like, okay, they're not saying anything, enjoy the pause. Just let it happen because they literally are processing. They're thinking about, you just gave them a bunch of information and they're thinking about what you're saying now. And they will say something. They will come back and they will speak next. And they may say something like this. And these are all like when I put these things up, these are real life conversations. This is where they're taken from. So they might say, oh, that would be amazing. I'm so ready to start feeling better and not feeling like I'm dragging all the time. Okay. So that you want to listen for that. And again, you're processing what they're saying now. And I want to ask you with what they said, this example, because you're listening for it, what is the buy signal in that sentence? That would be amazing. Yes, Michelle put the word ready. I'm so ready. I'm ready. You guys got it. That is the buy signal right there. I'm so ready to start feeling better, start feeling like myself. Anything like that, that's a buy signal. You don't need to keep selling. You're done. Here's an example of what you could say. That's so great. I'll be here to support you. Now you're being assumptive. I'll be here to support you through your transformation journey. Let's go ahead and get you started. What shipping address would you like your transformation kit sent to? We don't need to keep convincing them. They're ready to start feeling better, and we have the thing that's going to make them feel better. Okay, I have a little treat for you. Melissa is on a ship, so she can't get on Zoom. They have Wi-Fi, but not the kind where you can get on a Zoom. But we're going to have a little cameo appearance from her. And what she's going to do is she's going to encapsulate this discovery conversation. Oh, there she is. I see her in the chat. Yay. Oh my gosh. She's going to encapsulate this discovery conversation and hearing the buy signal and how she goes right into the assumptive close or basically taking the order, putting the order in.
So tell me, Susie Q, if you were to try this program, would you be looking for more energy, better sleep, better digestion, mental clarity, maybe drop some pounds, or all of the above? All of the above? Perfect. This Ultimate Lifestyle Nutrition Program is going to check all of those boxes. For the cost of one fast food meal, you're going to see improvement in all of those areas. I can't wait for you to get started. You think this is amazing and you can't wait to feel better? I can't wait for you to feel better either. Let's get you set up. What is the best email address for you? What shipping address would you like to use? Okay, perfect. Got it. Oh, I'm so thrilled for you to get started. Before I let you go, who can you think of that may want to do this with you?
How about that? First of all, it takes a very skilled person to do a role play by themselves, to do a role play with themselves, with the other person not really saying anything, but she did it perfectly. And I want to ask you to put in the chat, what were some of the things that she did that you picked up on that definitely wouldn't come in through a text? Beth says works every single time too. That's the verbiage. And I wanted you to not only have the verbiage on the previous slides, I wanted you to hear it. Hear her energy, hear her confidence, hear her posture. She does it a million times a day. So of course, I mean, that's the thing is doing this and getting mastery over it. Okay, so I'm scrolling back a little bit because the comments are coming in so fast. The things that she did, Rico, simple language, yes. Monica, her confidence, 100%. Ruth said the smile. If this was a phone conversation, that person on the other end can hear her smile. That's energy, that's smile. She's not monotone. Like, so if you were to do this, what would you want to improve? What do you think? No, she was enthusiastic. Sincerity to help. Absolutely. Melissa says, I do this in my sleep. She does. She dreams this. She's told me. Smiles and compliments, posture, very positive. Oh, I'm so excited. Christina, I'm on. I love that part. That was so genuine. And this was a role play. This wasn't even a real scenario, like a real person scenario, but that's how she does it all the time. That I'm so excited for you. I love that. She's making it about them. They're not getting any vibe at all. Like, oh, I'm so glad I got my third UBT this week. No, she made it about them and how she's excited for them. Personal interest, yes, assumes the sale positive energy. There's no like secret, special slick line to close the sale. It's just listening for the buy signal. That's really when it happens, when they're talking, the close, and then just going right into it. Okay, let's get you started. What card do you want to put it on? What's the name on your card? Just like that. Xenia says her face shows compassion. Absolutely. Her pause, her energy, assumptive language, excitement for the person to get started. She was real and caring. Yeah, all of those things. Absolutely. The smile, you can hear her caring. Cannot get those things through a text. Just doesn't happen. So she went right in for putting the order in. And then I don't know if somebody else wrote it. And Susie Q, yeah. Um, there was one other thing. Oh, Ruth got it. Okay. One other thing that she did, she put a little cherry on top. She asked for referrals. And I think that's really cool the way she did it too. She didn't say, do you know anybody else who might want to do this with you? She said, who do you know? Open-ended question. Because if you say, do you know someone else? They might say, oh, no, not offhand. But when you say, who do you know that might want to do it with you? They start thinking. And then they start thinking, wow, this could be fun. This could be fun to do it with somebody else. Tara, right, reinforces the success for someone. Absolutely. And the focus on the customer. Yeah. Card. Yes, you've heard Melissa talk about this before. Card, not credit card. What card? Little nuances. These are little nuances. What card would you like to put it on? Let's see. What else do we have here? Okay, so Marcy says, I did all this, and then they said I need to do some more research. Okay, I'm glad you said that, Marcy, because I'm going to address that. So if they say I need to do more research, okay, absolutely, I appreciate that. I like that you're a researcher. What other information can I get you? Do you prefer to consume information via reading or video? Which do you prefer? Give them the two choices. And then they're going to say, I like video. Okay, let me do this. I'm going to send you this video. First, let me ask, when do you think you'll be able to watch it? You're going to love this video because it's a quick overview of the program, and you're going to hear some amazing testimonials. So when do you think you'll be able to watch it? It's only about 20 minutes long. I could probably watch it. I'll watch it when I get home from work tonight. And I think I want to have my husband watch it because I kind of want him to do it. He's kind of stubborn sometimes, but I want him to do it. If I decide to do it, I want him to do it with me. Okay, perfect. You're going to watch it tonight, like after you get home, like 7-ish. So let's do this. Let's set a time right now so we can circle back and then I can answer any other questions that you have once you've looked at that. And how about, let's see, we could either do tonight. I could be available tonight, if you and your hubby are home together, and then maybe he's got some questions too. So we could do it around 8, or if you prefer tomorrow, I could either do 9 in the morning, or we could do tomorrow evening. What works best for you? Okay, so yes, you can still see Melissa on the screen because it's on that slide. That's the next slide, but I'm not there yet.
So tell me, Susie Q.
Not that we don't want to hear Melissa again. So, okay, so Marcy's writing me direct in the chat, so you're not seeing what she's saying, but she said, I did give him a video, but I didn't ask when you would be able to watch it. Just I would call back in the next couple days. Okay, so that's another little nuance. You find out when they're going to watch it because now you're making them make a commitment to watch it. And then you are setting the follow-up appointment based on that. It's a whole world of difference. You never have to chase somebody for follow-up. You have an appointment with them. I like to take it one step further, and I like to set it up. I have an online calendar. I like to set it up on there. So I'll just say like, okay, let me put this on my calendar, and it's going to send them reminders. It makes it more official and very professional. And there's free ones out there like Calendly and different ones, but I like to do that so that they know like I'm carving out time for you. And I'm serious about helping you with this. I want to answer your questions and also validating. I appreciate that you like to research. Absolutely. I would love to give you more information and then ask them, you know, how do they consume? What do they prefer? Do you want to read about? Some might say both. So you could send your permalink to ultlifestyle.com and send a video. We do videos every Monday night. There's a ULT video. Melissa has spearheaded this and has done it with unbelievable consistency every single Monday night. And we can count on it like the sun that this video happens and then they're recorded. So we have a bunch of them in the can. Quick little, anybody can do this. It doesn't mean our team does it better or anything like that. Any team can do this. Quick little overview. You have someone give the overview of, I mean, I did one last night for a launch Zoom. I had the stuff right here, the boxes right here. So you show it and then you have testimonials lined up, compliant testimonials, and record it, and then that can be shared. So everybody loves it. So Marcy says, I love now that I can send the video from my pure. Yeah, exactly. And see when they open it. That's another great feature of the new app. So, okay, what else do we have here? All right. So I'm going to go to the next way. Any other comments or questions about this? Marcy, that was a really good question. I like that you asked that because that's something like other people might have that same question. So I'm glad I had the opportunity to answer that. Okay, yeah. Thanks, Marcy. All right. So next, we're going to talk about the third key of communicating the value of pyramid, and that's the value of the business. As Amy always says, the business is our best product. Why? Because that's how we can get these amazing products out to more people by building this little army of people that care about people and want to share it. So let's go into discovery questions on the business side. So these are some of my favorites that I like to ask. Just again, it's taking interest in a person. So I might be talking to someone, maybe I met someone at a networking group and say they're, I don't know, something in health and wellness. They're a massage therapist or an acupuncturist, whatever. It doesn't matter. They could be a realtor, they could be an accountant. But I like to ask, hey, I'm just curious, how did you get into doing what you're doing? And then they're going to tell you. That question opens up so much. You will get so much intel from that one question. How did you get into doing what you're doing, what you're currently doing? What do you love about it? I bet you love what you do. You could even just say that. You don't have to say, what do you love about it? I bet you love what you do. Or what do you love about it? And you can even say, what have some of your business challenges been? Because it's been like the economy's been so weird. Like, or in Florida, here in our area, we could say, how have the hurricanes impacted your business? Have you had challenges with that? If you're here, you're going to hear a whole bunch of stuff, or maybe California. So, what are some of your challenges? I like to ask people too, what are your goals with your business? Because I'm coming across as someone who could maybe help them. Like, I want to bring value to them. Maybe I could refer somebody to them. So, what are your goals for your business? So, let's see what somebody might say. Let's say you're talking to a massage therapist, you ask that question. So, she might say, so, how did you get into doing what you're doing? Because I've just always loved helping people. And I've always been fascinated by anything to do with health and wellness, especially holistic health. Oh, I love that. There's nothing better than doing something where you can monetize something that you're passionate about. That's awesome. And I'm just curious because I know you mentioned you just started your business about a year ago because I've asked questions and I've gotten all this information. What are some of your business goals with your practice? They might say, well, first of all, I would love to pay off my student loan debt. That's one thing. Or I'd love to ultimately grow and be able to rent a few more rooms so I can have some other massage therapists so I don't have to work as much. These are real life things. So, what are those things that the person said, that our little imaginary person massage therapist said? What are those things called? And after you ask those questions, by the way, you see big bold type on the bottom. Pause and listen. The most important thing. Pause and listen. Now, she might say something like, oh, people are so preoccupied because of everything that's been happening with the weather and they're not coming in as often. So things have been a little bit slow. That's another pain point. Those are all pain points. Pay off student loan debt. It's been kind of slow. People aren't coming in. I'd like to be able to take time off. I'd like to ultimately hire other people so I don't have to work 24/7. So listening to them opens the door. Just asking these few key questions, it opens the door for us to present that what we have can help them get what they want via this business. And then you can even incorporate a story. I have a friend who was a massage therapist for 20 years. And it's interesting that you said that because she had some of the same struggles that you were talking about. She mentioned how sometimes it just gets slow, people just drop off or whatever it might have been. You can reflect back whatever her pain points were. She mentioned some of those same things. She joined me a few years ago in my organic nutrition business because she said people were always asking her for recommendations and she was sending them to Whole Foods. But what's interesting is not only did the income from this business fill in the gaps of her slow times, but now she eventually retired herself and retired her husband, and they've been traveling all over the world now. So it could be, this reminds me of a friend of mine, or it could be a realtor. I know I have a friend who's a realtor and she was going through something similar. So leveraging stories, bringing listening for the pain points, and then the reflect back on what you can say to validate, and also a story that you could share. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the benefits, some like 4 key benefits of the Purium opportunity. And these are things, talking points that you can share with your prospects that can be used in response to some of the pain points that you've discovered, because some of these will address pain points. Okay. First of all, we all know we all love sharing things that we like and appreciate. We all do that. I did that before Purium. When I was a realtor, I was referring people to lawn guys. I was telling them who the best lawn guy was, who the best roofer was, who the best plumber was. Did I ever get paid? No, never. I got a thank you, but they didn't give me like a discount on my next plumbing job or anything like that. So, but we do it. It's human nature to do that. We see a great movie, we tell everyone, great restaurant, whatever it is. So let me ask you a question. Let's say a new Whole Foods just opened in your town, and you're the first one that heard that, oh, it's open now. And you talk to 3 of your besties and you're like, hey guys, get down there. That new Whole Foods is open. You got to check it out. I know we all shop at Sprouts, but go to the Whole Foods. I went there. It's amazing. You're going to love it. Okay. So they go because they're going to break away from Sprouts and try something different because you convinced them. And they each spend over the next couple weeks about $385. Your 3 friends are going to spend about $385 at Whole Foods. Not hard to do, right? Some people call it whole paycheck. So not hard to do to spend that, especially at today's prices if they have a family. So let me ask you this question. If that happened, does Whole Foods turn around and say, thank you so much, Patty. We're sending you that amount in free groceries. So you sent your 3 friends and they bought about $385 of groceries. We're going to send you about $385 in free groceries. How about that? We all know, Rico says in your dreams, we all know the answer to that. It's not happening. What about Purium? And you can share this with a brand partner prospect. Get 3 of your friends to get on this amazing nutrition program. Who doesn't need this? Everyone needs what we have. Get them in your first 10 days to join you. And your first box of superfoods is practically free. What it is now, if there are 3 customers, you're going to get $381. It's a few bucks off. $384.95 is the first box. You're going to get $381 back. So basically your first box is paid for. And yeah, Melissa says Whole Foods is not sending us kickbacks. That's for sure. And we send people there all the time. Yeah. So Yeah, that includes the $100 Fast Start bonus. That's just the very tip of the iceberg, as Allison is pointing out here. That's the very tip of the iceberg. That's just the very first little $100, which is not little, but the first little bonus. Then there's the next and the next. So this is a good way to show the contrast between we're sending people places all the time, but we're not getting anything, but we can with this. We could get our products free. So now Purium can help people with all those things, those check mark things, sleep, digestion, energy, all those things, help them save money because they're going to now see the value, transfer their spending over from the kava bowl to the aminos and the power shake or whatever, the two green Whole Foods juices to what we have. And now they're getting free food. They're not spending what they were spending, and now they're also getting their food free. I mean, how much of a win is that? Okay, and then here's another talking point because, again, you're hearing pain points when you're asking questions. Pain point might be, oh man, yeah, business is, it's good, it's not bad, but man, I'm just working like a dog. I just have no time off. I'm exhausted. Okay, pain point. What's the pain point? They need more free time, but their business, they have maybe have a traditional business or they have a job where they work a lot of hours. Right, Tara, no time. This, you can build this business on the side of whatever you're doing in very part-time hours. That's what I did. So I have my story, but you can use my story. I'm not the only story like that. We have a ton of stories like that. So that shows that it shows them social proof, basically, or proof of concept, shows them what's possible, what could be done, working 60, 70 hours a week and caregiving, and built a multiple six-figure income in under 2 years. So you think of stories that you can leverage. Again, like I talked about the massage therapist one, but think of stories you can leverage when someone tells you how busy they are and they need more free time. We're here to help. When I hear that, when I hear someone say that, my first instinct is, oh my gosh, I can help this person. I can help this person so much. That's where my head goes of how this business can help them ease that pain. And here's another one. Unlike traditional businesses, which have very high, most high overhead employees and other stressors, we have unlimited income potential. And the only overhead we have is what we love. It's our products, our monthly order. That's basically our overhead. That's why I was saying, the phone app, that's an investment in your business, your convention ticket. I want you to really have perspective on this. Literally unlimited income potential, and we have virtually no overhead. So we always want to look for ways that we can make an investment in our business that can grow our business, like convention. I just want to get an extra little plug in there. So yeah, that's something that will attach to the pain point of someone who says, my rent just went up. I'm struggling. I'm having a hard time really making a profit here. And that's where we can share this. Here's a way you can make money. You can still build it on the side of what you do, what you currently do, but very few hours because of the leverage aspect. And then invite them to something. Invite them to watch a business opportunity Zoom or business opportunity recording. Get them on a Connect call, the gold standard, the Connect call. Okay, so we have virtually, like I said, no overhead. Financial barrier to entry is pretty much nothing. It's a transfer of spending to this other food, our superfoods, and the business is free. And we just have to be coachable, love helping people, be willing to put in the effort, just like any other worthwhile endeavor. So the income that we receive from Purium is a natural, it's a natural result of the value that we provide to others. It's a side effect of the value that we provide to others. The business, what we receive from Purium, okay? The income. So I want you to drop in the chat why you love selling Purium products or selling the business opportunity. And I'm purposely using the word selling. I know we say share too, sharing, but I want to say selling because I like that word and I'll tell you why in a minute. It helps people, the products work, you're helping others, it transforms lives, it's fun, gives me a sense of, oh my gosh, this is going so fast. Something we can be proud of. It would be selfish to keep it to yourself, 100%. And Aaron Sullivan says, selling a service. I love selling Purium products and the business to build generational health and wealth. I love that, Aaron. Amazing. Allows people to see the power of food, best quality for the price, for the expense. It's a reliable and proven system. Yeah, all of those things. I love selling Purium products and the business because the definition of great salesmanship is about the other person. Great salesmanship is always about the other person. It's not about us, it's about them. Does anybody remember that little acronym WIFM, WIFM? That's when we're talking to someone and all they care about is WIFM, WIFM. Does anybody know what that stands for? It's old school. I don't know if anyone remembers it, but it stands for, yeah, Lenore's got it. What's in it for me? Coach Sandra got it. What's in it for me? Erin and yeah, exactly. So it's about the other person. It's about how that other person is going to benefit from doing business with you and how that person's life is going to be better as a result of you being in it. That's great salesmanship. Always about them, giving them service, finding out what they want, and then bringing them the solution of what's going to help them, giving them what they want. And this is such a win-win business, this business model, because it has literally changed the trajectory of so many lives for the better, mine included. But you see lots of people, several people here that you recognize. And off to the right is Nicole's son, her special needs son, Noah, having the time of his life at the beach. And I love the t-shirt. I don't make excuses, I make results. He's his mother's son for sure. So that's the beautiful thing about this. That's what's so great about it. And check this out.
What do you say? No, thanks, Mom. Thank you, Period.
Those are Nicole's girls. Is that the cutest or what? Thank you, Purium. And she's raising her girls to appreciate Purium and for her girls and her son to see the value, appreciate the value of it. They don't resent at all when she's on the phone and she's making calls because they're seeing the fruits of her labor of doing Purium. They're benefiting. They love that new van. That's why they said, thank you, Purium. She just said, what do you say? She thought they were going to say, thank you, Mom. They say, thank you, Purium. So cute. So I want to just kind of finish with a couple of quotes here. And let me just close the chat so I can actually see it. Oh my gosh, why can't I see it? Oh no. Wait a minute. Sorry. All right. I'm trying to move the chat, which I think I can do. There we go. Because I want to read this. And this is a quote from Bob Berg. I love him. He wrote a book a long time ago called Endless Referrals, how you can have endless referrals. And it's based on that concept of leading with service, being a go-giver, helping people see the value for them, what's it going to do for them, what's in it for them. And he also wrote or co-wrote the Go Giver book and that whole series. And he said, the target is serving others. When you hit the target, you will get a reward, which will come in the form of money. The money is simply the reward for hitting the target. It isn't the target itself. It all happens as a side effect. The target is serving others. So when we serve others, we lead with service. We think of their interests first. When we do that, I will tell you, you'll never come across as desperate. You will never have that desperate energy. You will never have that scared energy. You will have confident energy because you're going into it knowing that you are helping someone and you're looking to help them get what they want. And we have that with Purium on the health side and on the business side. And then the last one that I want to share with you is also Bob. And he says, to the degree to which you focus on bringing immense value to others' lives is the degree to which your own influence will soar. The people who operate this way have influence. Do you know why? Why do you think that is? If you're bringing immense value to them, you're thinking about their best interests, you're leading with service. What are you creating? Trust. Ginger got trust and rapport. Absolutely. Janelle says trust. And everything else is correct, what you guys are saying. Building relationships, longtime friendship. Rico says an empire. It's true. That's the ultimate, what comes out of it. Really can't. Credibility. Jane Calandrillo, who's been doing this for 20 years with Purium. Jane and Joel. And Taya says collaboration. Yeah, Bob Berg's book, Endless Referrals, The Go-Giver, is the original Go Giver one. There's a series. There's a Go Giver influencer. I think there's one called Go Giver Sell More. So just so you know, with the Go Giver books, they're like a storybook. You could probably read it in an hour or hour and a half or listen or whatever. But they're like parables. So it's a story with these characters that you get to know, but it teaches a lesson. It gets the point across, the concept. So they're very easy to read, but they're really, really powerful. Cami says they're her favorite. Yeah, I love them. And I love Bob. I mean, everything he talks about, that's his theme. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. Would love for you to drop a 10 in the chat. If there was something that helped you tonight, if you feel more emboldened than ever about the value of Purium, if you feel like, wow, I should have never gotten a price objection. These people are crazy. I'm going to show them this. So yeah, thank you so much. I'm so glad because my goal was to help bring you value that you can use to help others see the value and to build your business. So I want to just give you a little reminder tomorrow night, product education Zoom, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. So don't forget to jump on. I want to thank all of you tonight for your participation. You made this so awesome by being interactive with this exercise that we did. So I appreciate you guys so much. And I know you're all go-givers. You all lead with service. You all love helping people. When I wrote when I said right in the chat, what do you love about selling Purium? And almost everyone was like, because it helps people. We can help more people. People are getting healthier. I love that. So thank you all so much. And someone said, where is this going to be posted? So I'll find out. It should end up in puriumbusiness.com. And I'll make sure that they put the slides because you guys are welcome to use those in your social media. Feel free because a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So I want to thank you all so much. Have a great evening and we'll see you soon. Get your convention ticket.